Hello, I'm Chris Barrow with the BBC News. A fire has swept through a train in Pakistan, killing more than 70 people and injuring dozens. Some died when trying to escape by leaping from the moving train. From Islamabad, here's Secunda Kamani.
The train was travelling from Karachi to Rawalpindi when a fire broke out this morning, engulfing 3 carriages. According to railway officials, it began when a gas cylinder passengers were using to cook breakfast exploded, though others have suggested it was caused by an electrical fault. Survivors described the chaos and panic as passengers tried to escape the blaze. Many of those on the train were heading to a religious gathering. Prime Minister Imran Khan has extended his condolences to the families of the victims and ordered an immediate inquiry.
Europe's top human rights body has called on Greece to speed up the transfer of migrants from camps on islands in the Aegean, describing the conditions as abysmal. The Council of Europe's Commissioner for Human Rights, Dunja Mijatovic, said the migrants were facing a struggle for survival. She said there was a desperate lack of medical care and unhygienic conditions in the overcrowded camps, which created an explosive situation. The leader of Britain's main opposition Labour Party has launched his campaign for December's general election, promising to take on vested interests and run the country for the many, not the few. Jeremy Corbyn said the election provided a once-in-a-generation opportunity to transform Britain. He said Labour would negotiate a new Brexit deal in 6 months and offer a second referendum on whether to leave or remain in the European Union. In a damning report, Human Rights Watch has accused Afghan paramilitary units backed by the CIA of carrying out extrajudicial killings, indiscriminate airstrikes and forced disappearances with impunity against civilians. It documents 14 recent cases when it says entire communities were consigned to the terror of abusive and botched night raids as the units ostensibly looked for Taliban targets. The BBC's Aulia Atrafi in Kabul says the incidents are horrifying.
In Wardak, near Kabul, a man's son was shot, another was taken with them, and then they turned to him and asking, "Why are you feeding the Taliban?" In Paktia, near the Durand line with Pakistan in August, one paramilitary unit killed at least 8 men who were visiting their families for Eid.
The Afghan government said it would improve accountability, while a CIA spokesman said the agency's operations were lawful and robustly monitored. Hong Kong's pro-democracy protesters are expected to descend on one of the territory's most popular nightlife districts on Halloween. Many said online that they were planning to wear face masks in defiance of a recent ban following months of violent clashes between demonstrators and police. The Hong Kong police say they deploy large numbers of officers around the central bar district in Lan Kwai Fong, the annual focus of the festivities. BBC News. The US authorities have struck a deal with a high-profile fugitive financier from Malaysia in which he forfeits assets worth $700 million, including a Beverly Hills luxury hotel. The US Justice Department said Joe Low would relinquish the fortune allegedly stolen in the 1MDB corruption scandal, which saw billions of dollars go missing from Malaysia's state investment fund. 2 major car manufacturers, Fiat Chrysler and the parent company of Peugeot and Citroën, have agreed to merge. The merger between the Italian-American Fiat Chrysler and the French PSA Group will create the world's 4th largest car company in terms of annual sales. Here's Theo Leggett.
PSA Group and Fiat Chrysler are presenting this plan as a response to major changes that are taking place in the car industry. They include the rapid development of technology such as electric cars and automated driving. A merger would allow them to combine their resources and pool their research. It would also combine PSA Group's strength in the European market with Fiat Chrysler's scale in North America. The 2 groups say they expect to make annual savings of £3.2 billion, but insist this estimate is not based on any factory closures.
The head of the World Organization for Animal Health has said around a quarter of the world's pigs are expected to die from African swine fever, which is spreading through Asia. Mark Shipp warned this could lead to food shortages and high pork prices, as well as a shortfall in blood products made from pigs. He described African swine flu as the biggest threat to any commercial livestock in a generation. And Mongolia's security chief says 800 Chinese citizens have been arrested in a bust on a cybercrime ring. Gerald Dorjpalam said the arrests were made after raids on 4 locations in the capital Ulaanbaatar. Hundreds of computers and 10,000 SIM cards were also confiscated. Mr. Dorjpalam said the detainees were suspected of online gambling. And that's the latest BBC News.